When I moved in, the landlord said there were 3 keys to my unit. A 4th kept turning up. The first month in the new apartment, I did what anxious people do. I made duplicates, labeled everything, and kept the spare key on a hook inside the utility closet, just high enough that I had to stretch. My lease said there were 3 keys in circulation: mine, the landlord's, and 1 locked in the building office. Day 3, I found a 4th on my doormat. Same brass head, same number stamped in the shoulder as mine. No note. I texted the landlord. He replied fast. No extra copies. Must be a mistake. Bring it by. I opened the door to grab it and hesitated. Something about picking up a key from inside the threshold felt wrong. I used the broom to drag it in. That night, I woke to a sound you only notice your first week in a place. A deep, body-level thunk. The deadbolt hadn't moved. The chain was still on. But the doorknob was warm when I touched it, like someone had just let go. Morning. The spare was gone from the counter. In its place, a folded paper towel with a little circle of water in the middle. Ring mark. Like someone had set down a glass and let condensation bleed. I don't own glasses with that diameter. My cups are those thick IKEA ones. This mark was thinner. I changed the routine. The spare went into my jacket pocket. I checked the deadbolt twice, then 3 times. When I left for work, I looked back and didn't recognize my own door a bad sign. At lunch, I patted my jacket in the elevator and felt the outline. Good. In the lobby, I stepped aside to let an older woman by. She smiled like people do when they see a younger version of themselves trying to hold it together. "3rd floor?" she said. "Do you like it?" "It's quiet," I said. She said, not agreeing. "In the daytime?" I worked late, bought takeout I didn't taste, and climbed the last flight on rubber knees. On my mat, the spare key. My jacket pocket, empty. I felt the bottom of it for the hole keys wear through over years. No hole. The lining was fine. I didn't text the landlord. I turned on the kettle and watched it fail to boil because watching something try is easier than thinking. Then I did what I do when I need to feel like a person with agency. I measured. Door to elevator, 21 steps. Mat width, 32 inches. Key length, 2.25 inches. The numbers were petty and comforting. At 2:13 a.m., the lock turned once against the deadbolt like a polite knock from inside the cylinder. The chain trembled on the door like a dog trying to be quiet. I said, "I hear you," and my voice didn't crack. Morning. The peephole showed a camera lens facing back at me. My heart did a thing it will probably do until it quits. It tried to leave by an exit that doesn't exist. I opened the door fast, and the lens was gone. Just the hall, the light, the smell of someone else's cooking. On the floor under the peephole, a microfiber cloth, gray, folded into a square. The kind techs use to wipe prints. The landlord didn't answer my call. The office door was locked with a paper sign. Back at 4. A teenager in a hoodie walked past, glanced at my door like it owed him money, and kept moving. That night, I slid my heavy dresser in front of the entry. It made a groove in the floor my deposit won't forgive. The chain was on. The bolt was set. I put a baking sheet with a handful of coins on the inside handle. If the knob turned, the coins would tell me. At 3:07, they sang a soft metallic rattle. I sat up, heart sprinting, listening for a second rattle, a third. Silence. Then a sound from the kitchen. The soft pop of the fridge door sealing itself. It does that sometimes when the temperature changes. It did it then because the air had changed. I didn't sleep. At dawn, I found an index card sticking out from under the door, half in, half out. On it, in neat block print, return. Below, a simple hand-drawn picture of a key with a dot on the head where a chip would go if keys had chips. I turned the card over. Blank. I looked at the spare on the counter. Same dot on the head, not a scratch, a pinhole. Inside was a tiny black eye. I took a magnet from the fridge and touched it. The pull was small, but there. This wasn't a normal key. It remembered doors. I took the spare to the landlord anyway. He looked at it like a dog looks at a flute. "We don't use those," he said. "Ours are all standard." "Who else has this cut?" I asked. He scratched his cheek. "Previous management had, a vendor. They're gone." That night, I left my own spare on the outside mat. A trap that was also an apology. I set my phone to record the peephole. At 2:11, the hallway light warmed as if someone had just walked through it. A hand, no rings, clean nails, came into frame, picked up the key, and paused long enough that the camera caught the webbing between thumb and finger, the pale line of a long-healed cut. Then it withdrew. On my side of the door, the coins didn't rattle. The dresser didn't move. No one tried the knob. Morning. The index card was pushed back under the door. On it, just 2 words now, in the same neat print. "Thank you." The spare never returned. I keep my key on a lanyard around my neck like a kid. The broom stays by the door anyway. Some things want to be let back to the place they think they belong. Sometimes the safest thing you can do is let them go. Like and follow for more files.